Hello, and welcome to the Learning for Life series, Learning on the Go, created by Learning and Organizational Development India, copyrighted to Aster Healthcare. Welcome back to part 2 of the New Rules of Engagement podcast, which deals with the responsibilities of the employee when they come back to the workplace after the COVID lockdown. Remember that it takes two to tango, and both the employer and the employee are in this dance together. In the earlier podcast, we spoke about ethical hygiene. We owe it to our family, colleagues, and friends to practice the highest standards of safety and hygiene. It has been proven that social distancing is the most effective way to flatten the curve. Let us understand the math behind this. With no social distancing, one infected person can infect up to 406 healthy people in 30 days. If we were to reduce social exposure by 50%, one COVID-positive person will infect 15 people in 30 days. And if we were further to reduce social exposure to 75%, then one infected person will infect only 2.5 people in 30 days. What implication does this data have on you as an individual? We must consciously fight the tendency to go back to our default settings and adopt, if not embrace, the new normal. This means a deliberate unlearning and relearning of conduct and behavior. This podcast will detail what one is to do before heading out to work, while at work, and after you leave from work. Before stepping out to work, there are 3 things you need to keep in mind. Number 1, mask protocol. Number 2, travel protocol. And third, hand hygiene. Here's why wearing a mask is important. Let's say that a healthy person is wearing a mask and the COVID carrier is not. The transmission probability is 70%. The probability of transmission dropping to 5% if the COVID carrier wears a mask and the healthy person does not. And when both wear a mask, the probability of transmission falls to 1.5%. Now, that is a compelling enough reason to wear a mask at all times. How you wear a mask is also important. Clean your hands with hand sanitizer or wash your hands with soap and water before putting on a mask. Check your mask to see whether there are any tears or holes in it. Make sure the mask covers your nose, mouth, and chin with no gaps between your face and the mask. Avoid touching your mask while wearing it. If you do touch it, immediately clean your hands with sanitizer or wash them with soap and water. Do not reuse a single-use mask. If your mask gets wet or damp, dispose it in a closed bin. Do not touch the front of your mask while removing it. Remove it from behind the ears and immediately dispose it. Wash or clean your hands immediately afterward. The next thing that we need to be aware of is hand hygiene. Follow the 6 steps of hand hygiene prescribed by the World Health Organization. Palm to palm, between the fingers, back of the hands, base of the thumb, back of the fingers, fingernails, and wrists. Then, rinse well in clean water and wipe dry thoroughly. Do this before, during, and after work at frequent intervals. When in doubt, wash your hands. The other aspect one must be careful of is travel behavior. If you commute by your own vehicle, ensure that you keep the interiors sanitized and clean. Avoid carpooling. If you ride a bike, do not allow a pillion. Office shuttles are normally among the most joyous and happy places where people connect. Unfortunately, that also might change. If you take the office shuttle, you will need to maintain social distance in the way that you queue up and where you choose to sit. The third and final segment in this podcast deals with changed behavior protocols at work. As a society, we have always found merit in minding our own business. Well, COVID has changed all that. Your business is now my business. Be aware of your surroundings. Ensure that everyone is following protocol. Give feedback to people when you see rules being broken around you. Be vigilant and more conscious about your immediate surroundings. Remember that what others do directly impacts you. Some other things that we could change are how we greet people, where we sit, how we conduct and participate in meetings, washroom etiquette, and public area behavior. Avoid shaking hands while greeting your teammates. The Namaste is being increasingly adopted as the standard greeting internationally. Remember to stay at a safe distance while greeting colleagues. Fold hands, wish, and smile while greeting customers. The seating protocol to be maintained at work is to maintain a distance of 6 feet between people. Huddles, peering over a single laptop, sharing phones, etc. are all things of the past. Avoid sitting in rooms that are not well ventilated. Now, for how we conduct and participate in meetings. Rely on virtual meeting platforms even when you are in the same building, for meetings as well as trainings. Most of us find it awkward to decline a face-to-face meeting, especially if the boss calls for it, and that is why this change should be driven top-down. In the washroom, try to keep things as dry as possible. Flush the toilet, clean the toilet seat if necessary, and wash your hands with soap and water after using the washroom. The washroom probably has the most number of high-touch surfaces. The doorknob, the taps, the flush handles are all high-touch surfaces. Do not throw paper towels on the floor. Keep conversations to a minimum and avoid crowding. If you see a dirty washroom, call the housekeeping number requesting for immediate service. Don't just walk away. The last and final thing to pay attention to at work is public area behavior. Do not crowd around water coolers, vending machines, and pantries. In elevators, face away from each other. Sharing food is best avoided. Ensure that there is always a hand sanitizer, either in your pocket, in your purse, or on your desk. Now, for the things you must do before leaving work and when you reach home. Remember who you are going home to. So pay heed. Wash hands before leaving from work. Leave your footwear outside your home. Put away clothes for washing. Take a shower before you touch or let anyone touch you. Please follow all of the above protocols before you let anyone at home come near you. Act responsibly. We all know that safety is a collective effort, but individual behavior has a huge impact. Thank you and stay safe. This is LNOD India signing off.